This is my really simple high-level framework for business-to-business copywriting. SPF. And if you have a hard time remembering that, just think about sunscreen. SPF 50, SPF 100. So what do these stand for? The S stands for stages, the P stands for psychology, and the F stands for funnel. These are the three most important things that you need to keep in mind when you're doing business-to-business copywriting. Stages, psychology, and funnel. And I'm going to start by explaining stages. And what I mean here is the stages of awareness. And they're basically four. The first stage is people that aren't even aware that they have a problem. There's some sort of problem that your product solves, but these people are not even at the point where they recognize that that's an issue. Second stage is a group of people that recognize that they have a problem, that problem that you solve, but they're not familiar with the product category that you're in that solves the problem. So for example, let's say the problem is churn, customers that are abandoning your product or service. Maybe you're selling in the product category of chatbots, which is kind of a new, exciting category. Well, a lot of people are probably going to fall in this category. They're aware that churn is a problem, but they don't know that chatbots can help them solve that problem. Now, there's a third group of people which are familiar with the product category, but they're not familiar with your product or your specific brand. So in this example, they know what chatbots are, but they just don't know that your particular product is any good. They don't know what your particular product does. They've never heard of your brand name. Now, when most people think about the stages of awareness, often they just think of it in a very simplistic way, and they just think of it as this: brand awareness. Are they aware of your brand? But awareness is actually much more nuanced than this. It's actually 4 different stages of awareness. And if you just simplify it to brand awareness, you're missing the empathy that's required to understand where each of these people is at in their level of knowledge. And the last stage here is product aware. So these are people that are, they know the problem, they know your category, they're familiar with your product, and now they're perhaps ready to receive a more aggressive sales pitch, something like that. And where business-to-business copywriting usually fails is sending the wrong message based on the level of awareness. So for example, if you're just pushing a consultation or a discount to somebody that doesn't even know that they have a problem, you're going to have a problem because you're delivering the wrong message to the wrong person. What you need to do is reach people where they're at. So to give you an example, I walked into a store, an electronics store, and I was just killing time and browsing. But the storekeeper was approaching me, kept saying, "Oh, we have this big sale on, you can get 50% off." I don't even know that I have a problem. I'm not familiar with any of the products here. The category, I guess I'm kind of familiar with some of the categories that are in the store, but I'm not. He's trying to push me into a sales funnel, which would be around this stage, but I'm not ready to hear that kind of sales pitch. So if you do that with your copywriting, where you're being too aggressive and salesy, and you're not educating people where they need to be educated, which is in these early stages, then you're not going to perform very well with your advertising and your marketing communications. So I'm going to walk you through an example, and we're going to see how the copywriting evolves based on the 4 different stages. So you're trying to do copywriting for chatbot, and you need to cater to people based on these 4 stages. And the first stage is people that don't even know they have a problem. So the problem is customer churn, And I'm just making up a scenario where the people that have that problem are travel agencies. So the kind of message you would send when somebody doesn't recognize that they have a problem is you need to prove to them that this is a problem and that it needs to be taken care of. So for example, your video or your direct mail or your text ad, it doesn't really matter what format the copywriting takes. It's the essence of the message that matters. And when people are problem unaware, it might be something like, what the most successful travel agencies know that most don't. And what that is going to lead into is the discussion about how the most successful travel agencies have recognized that churn is one of the critical things to focus on. So this copywriting is effective because there's a promise that we're going to teach you how to be successful. There's social proof because we're demonstrating how other companies that are in the same industry as yours, what they've done. And then we're going to segue into creating category awareness. Okay, so let's say that now people are aware that churn is a problem, but they don't know that chatbots are the answer. Well, in a situation like this, you might make a more specific promise and say, reduce churn by 50% using the exciting new power of chatbots, or how chatbots are revolutionizing churn rates among travel agencies, something like that. So you're trying to build enthusiasm for the category at large. You're not just selling your product specifically, you're selling the product category you participate in, which it may be counterintuitive. You might think, oh, well, if I just push the category, then my competitors may benefit. But it's kind of a risk you need to take in a lot of cases because people aren't ready to make the jump to learning about your specific product if they haven't even been sold on chatbots in general. Okay, so now people are familiar with the category, which is chatbots. Now what you need to do is make them familiar with your specific brand.